Tell me from your perspective, go back to the Defiance game, and then we'll talk about Manchester. You guys played defensively, I thought, extremely well in that Defiance game, and much better than maybe you had in the previous games. What was the difference defensively for this team?
We just had everybody's on the same page, really. Like, there's some games where we'll have one person out of rotation that kind of screws up the whole possession. But I feel like Defiance, majority of our possessions, we really were all on the same page. I thought that was the difference.
You know, he shook up the lineup a little bit, too, and I thought that was kind of interesting, guys, maybe a little bit different rotations and such, and I thought that was kind of a good call, too. How did you see that from your side?
Well, Coach, me and Coach actually talked earlier about urgency, and he just put a couple of guys in the lineup, new guys that really had that urgency, and it obviously worked out pretty well for us.
Now, you mentioned that word urgency, and he did a little bit as well just moments ago. You have 8 games remaining. You guys are still within reach of making the playoffs. Is there a fine line between calling it urgency and maybe putting a little more pressure on you guys to make sure you don't make so many mistakes? How do you read that?
Well, I mean, last few days of practice, actually, coaches have been a little tougher on us, which I agree with, because they can see our full potential and to kind of get our full urgency out. That's kind of what they have to do. So I feel like, putting that pressure on us really brings out the urgency. At least for me, it does.
Go back to Manchester, and I know you're disappointed after beating Defiance, and you lose to a Manchester team that you'd beaten before, and rebounding-wise, it probably didn't happen as well. A couple of turnovers. Talk about what happened in that game.
I mean, I'm not the guy to blame the refs, really, but there were some tough calls during the game, and, it kind of got us flustered. But, we gave up, I think, 19 offensive rebounds, and it's going to be tough to win a game giving up that many offensive rebounds.
From that standpoint, you mentioned maybe the team got a little bit flustered. That's something else that maybe down the stretch in big games you guys will have to really work on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's I mean, when we're under control, we are a really good team, in my opinion. And every game that we've won, we've been under control. So I think as long as we can stay under control the rest of the season, it should work out well for us.
You're going to play a pretty good team again on Wednesday, and if I'm not mistaken, a team you probably should have beat the first time around. What do you expect the second time?
I mean, we know what we have to do this time. This first time we had some minor mistakes that we can just fix up, and if we fix all those little things, I think we can come up with a W.